Welcome to another July Sunday morning with the Unitarian Universalist community of Charlotte. My name is Jay Leach. I'm one of the ministers of this community, and my pronouns are he, him, his. All summer long, we're focused in and outside of our Sunday services on the theme, Roots Hold Me Close. We're reflecting in different ways on what roots and grounds us, what makes us who we are, the core commitments that define us. Now, that may sound a bit heavy for a summer Sunday, a deep and serious sort of contemplation demanding deep and serious attention. While we certainly are giving this theme focused attention, it may help here to appeal yet again to the metaphor of trees. Remember that the same mighty oak that sends roots deep, deep down into the earth also sprouts delicate little leaves that dance on the wind. Majestic maples with their massive root systems suspend graceful leaves on tiny little stems, and they too move and sway with the breeze. So we might hold the momentous question of what roots us alongside the playful query of what moves us, sets our feet tapping, and beckons us into the dance of life. Commitment and joy. Seriousness and gladness, rooted groundedness and dancing. Today we appeal again to our musical archives and revisit exuberant selections from our UUCC house band to complement the reflections we'll hear. We actually hope that in this same service you'll find both your head nodding and your feet tapping. If you're new to our community, perhaps visiting with us today, then this is a glimpse into who we are. We here say that we are challenged by our liberating faith and are a joyful, loving, religious community. If you're seeking a community where you can be both filled with joy and challenged, inspired to work for justice and nurtured in love, then lean into what you experience today. Should you be ready to explore more deeply, contact our membership coordinator. Her name is Kelly Green, and Kelly will work with you to get you connected to us. If you're watching this in its premiere streaming on Sunday morning, July 25th, pause for a moment now and go to our Facebook page. Look for a welcoming post for this particular service and respond in the comments, letting us know that you are a part of the gathered community today. Welcome. The chalice symbolically roots us as a liberating religion, offers a shared symbol to which Unitarian Universalist will appeal today, from a small fellowship on the coast of Maine to a large multi-site congregation in San Diego. The form of the chalice is fixed, firmly shaped in clay or in metal, and yet the act is new each week. The chalice is kindled, and here in this rooted, fixed form, a flame will dance once again. Today, you are being invited to slow down, to pause a moment and read words that are being offered on your screen, short sentiments that are melding the notion of trees with gladness, with dancing. To these, I add May Swenson's delightfully audacious poem, Earth, Your Dancing Place, as a kind of counterweight to the metaphor of rootedness. May Swenson urged, beneath heaven's vault, remember always walking through halls of cloud, down aisles of sunlight, or through high hedges of the green rain. Walk in the world high-heeled with a swirl of cape. Hand at the sword hilt of your pride. Keep a tall throat. Remain aghast at life. Enter each day as upon a stage, lighted and waiting for your step. Crave upward as a flame. Have keenness in the nostril. Give your eyes to agony or rapture. Train your hands as birds to be brooding or nimble. Move your body as the horses sweeping on slender hooves over crag and prairie with fleeing manes and aloofness in their limbs. Take earth for your own large room, and the floor of the earth carpeted with sunlight and hung round with silver wind, for your dancing place. It's the turning about which we just sang, that simple twirl in the place that is just right. So for all of us today, abundant gifts offered by our band, our director of music, John Herrick, and by two people who are a part of our community who will be sharing with us today. First, we'll hear from a relatively new member, Joe Hoff, and then from a longer-term, deeply engaged member, Vivian Brenner. My thanks, Joe and Vivian, on behalf of all of us.
Hi, my name is Joe Hoff, and I became an official member of the Charlotte UU community in February 2020, right before the pandemic. So I haven't had the opportunity to meet many of you yet in person. I look forward to doing that in the future when we can get together in person again. I was asked to share with you what roots me, what grounds me. This is a bit complicated for me as I have moved around a lot in my life, and so one could say I've had to reinvent what grounds me multiple times. I grew up in the city of St. Louis, Missouri, and unlike in most of Charlotte, we had alleys separating the houses on our block. The alleys sometimes were places where there were garages located, where the trash cans were put out, and at one time, ash pits collected the ash from coal that was used to heat houses in the early 20th century there. But when I was growing up, it was also a community gathering place, an extension of the backyard. One might find an improvised basketball court and a place where kids played all kinds of games from hopscotch to stickball, which is kind of a local St. Louis game. Unlike the city streets, though, the city did not do a great job cleaning the alleys. So, one thing my dad did was organize an alley sweep that involved the neighbors on this block to clean the alley once a month during the warmer months. The city block was a real mix of people from all backgrounds and all religions. Most everyone would come out to clean the alley because they all had interest in keeping it clean, as they would park their cars in their garages and they had kids who used it as a playground. What I remember about the alley cleanup is the community it represented. By working together to clean up the alley, we all were able to get to know each other. We worked together to complete a shared goal that benefited all of us. It was great to know who was living down the street from us and to say hi when we crossed each other's path. At the end of the cleanup, my dad brought out his grill and we had a simple cookout with everyone contributing. Some people brought hot dogs and hamburgers, some brought salads or a vegetable or a dessert. It was a great way afterwards to sit down and chat and get to know each other even better. I've always appreciated that sense of community that the alley cleanup represented, and I look for it everywhere I have lived, as it grounds me to that experience when I was growing up. The funny thing is that as we all know, it takes a while to create community and for people to get to know each other. And these days, when everyone's on their iPad or their computer at home, we see even fewer of our neighbors outside on a regular basis. My other passion is traveling and learning about other cultures. I was fortunate to have the opportunity to live in 3 countries: Spain, Switzerland, and Japan, each for different periods of time. It takes even more time to create community when one is learning the language and the culture. It's a wonderful experience to achieve that goal when possible. I loved being a part of my homestay family in Spain, as well as a neighborhood softball team in Japan. I really felt like I was part of those communities. I've learned to appreciate and enjoy the differences that exist in other cultures, as well as the similarities we share as human beings. For example, in Spain, understanding that sharing hours and hours with each other discussing art, politics, or whatever without worrying about time, like we do in this culture, is a wonderful experience. Likewise, becoming emotional over a karaoke song with colleagues in Japan is another great experience of community. That's been my life pursuit with my career in international education that I am now doing at UNC Charlotte. I try to help university students learn that we are part of a larger community, the human community, with all of the diverse ways that human culture expresses itself, and to empathize with those who are different from us. I would say that having had the experience of living in other cultures and living in other parts of the US, even, and being an outsider, I can't not empathize with others who share that same situation. I try to listen to them when they tell me their experiences of not being accepted right away or at all in some cases. I try to welcome them into my circle so that they feel part of my community. I look back at my neighborhood community in St. Louis that grounded me in understanding that people can work together for a unified goal and create a sense of belonging no matter what our backgrounds are. I believe that experience allowed me to expand that sense of community to other parts of the world, as well as within the different US communities where I've lived. And in many ways, finding the Unitarian Universalist community was a godsend, so to speak, and that there are so many similarities I believe are shared with my own philosophy in life. And I have found community here as well. Community has always been important in my life, and that is what grounds me, what roots me, no matter where I go or live. I look forward to becoming a more involved community member here in the future. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me to join you today. I'm here to talk about parts of my life, and my name is Vivian Brenner, and I'm a 70-year-old secular Jew who was raised in several places. After quite a few years on this planet, what roots me is my parentage and the values that my family instilled in me. One of those values is to leave the world a better place than when we came into it. That's a fine general statement, as it leaves one freedom to decide what we can do to create a positive impact. While my grandfather was an anarchist, he was also a fierce defender of human rights and social obligations. He didn't trust governments, but he loved libraries. My own distrust of the government came during Vietnam. Newspaper reporters revealed that the president, secretary of state, and other cabinet members The military leaders and many, many others were lying to the American public about what was going on. We were taught to trust our leaders. Alas, that cannot happen these days. My grandmother loved making things from textiles, and that has also had an impact on my life choices. She spent many hours showing me how to work with my hands, patiently helping me understand how to use color and texture and shape to create things of beauty. I'm told I teach that way, which is good to hear. It's a gift that lasts a whole lifetime. While wandering through my varied life, I've determined that most of my commitment is to the ever-present struggle for fair human rights for all. Another vital part of me is committed to the appreciation and value of art for human expression. Art is crucial to education, thinking, and the celebration of life. One thing I cannot and will not stop doing is reading. Reading is akin to mind breathing, and it is necessary for quiet time, contemplation, exploration, and imagination. It's where we find our history, our ancestors, our thoughts, and our ideas. My grandfather's ferocity about human rights seems to have found a voice in my actions. From civil rights marches, anti-Vietnam War marches, and voting rights actions, most of my life has had focus on finding ways to improve our fragile human civilization. My impact may be small as an individual, as when teaching 6 people how to knit socks, or how to creatively mend worn clothing to a class of 10, or when being one of a large group of people committing civil disobedience. It takes many voices to make a large noise, and being one of those voices is meaningful. While I may have slowed down over the last few years, I'm still participating and encourage others to find their voices to join in the actions for making this world a better place.
The life of this community extends far beyond Sunday morning. All summer long, we're offering adult opportunities under the headed Rooted In, ways to gather, connect, and share. All summer long, we're offering fun activities, various social gatherings, ways to connect, to gather, to enjoy one another's company. All summer long, we're bringing our children and youth together so that they can connect. All summer long, weather permitting, we're singing together, gathering in the parking lot at 234, our physical location, for Summer Sing at 11 a.m. Please join us all summer long. Our hearts are beset with concerns, both personal and collective. So many lives this summer, broken by the effects of our ailing planet, as the ever more dramatic changes in climate take ever more dramatic tolls. Places in our hemisphere, Cuba, Haiti, in turmoil, and cries of pain from around the globe as the pandemic yet rages in so many places. Those nearer to us are weighted with concern. Our natural spiritual response is to hold them with love and in our prayers. Today we include Lloyd and Brenda Dillon, Linda Dobson, Rich and Nancy Green, all of whom are facing health challenges, and Deb and Greg Swindlehurst as they continue to mourn the death of Deb's mom. Our lives are also filled with joys, both ordinary and remarkable, simple pleasures and unanticipated delights. Our natural spiritual response is gratitude, an appreciative attitude in response to life's bounty. Thanksgiving may be shaped into a prayer, or perhaps into a dance.
Saturday night and the moon is out. I'm gonna head on over to the twist and shout. Find a two-step partner with a cage beat. When it lifts me up, I'm gonna find my feet. Out in the middle of a big dance floor. When I hear that bell, gonna beg for more. Gonna dance to the band from Louisiana tonight. Well, I never ever wandered down to New Orleans. Never had drifted down a bayou stream. But I heard that music on the radio, and I swore someday I was gonna go down Highway 10, Tessalate Avenue. That dark rouge, and I won't forget. Send you hard with my regrets, 'cause I'm never gonna come back home. Saturday night and the moon is out. I'm gonna head on over to the twist and shout. Find a two-step partner with a cage beat. When it lifts me up, I'm gonna find my feet. Out in the middle of a big dance floor. When I hear that bell, I'm gonna beg for more. Gonna dance to a band from Louisiana tonight. They got an alligator stew and a crawfish pie. A Gulf Stream blowing into town tonight. Living on the Delta's wide and show. They got hurricane parties and tonic blows. And here up north it's a cold, cold rain. And there ain't no cure for my blues today. Except when the paper says Bo's play is coming into town. Baby, let's go down. Saturday night and the moon is out. I'm gonna head on over to the twist and shout. Find a two-step partner and a cage of beat. When it lifts me up, I'm gonna find my feet. Out in the middle of a big dance floor. When I hear that bell, I'm gonna beg for more. Gonna dance to a band from Louisiana tonight. Bring your mama, bring your papa, bring your sister too. They got lots of music and lots of room. When they play you a waltz from the 1910, you're gonna feel a little bit young again. When you learn to dance with your rock and roll, and you learn to swing with the rules they know. But you learn to love at the fence so low when you hear a little don't let it fall. Saturday night and the moon is out. Gonna head on over to the twist and shout. Find a two-step partner and a cage of beat. When it lifts me up, I'm gonna find my feet. Out in the middle of a big dance floor. When I hear that bell, I'm gonna beg for more. Gonna dance to a band from Louisiana tonight. Take it home.
The ecofeminist Starhawk offers what is to some of us a familiar prayer, an invocation to our shared mother. I offer it today as our meditation, inviting you to receive it with an open heart and soul, with closed eyes and deepened breaths. Earth Mother, Star Mother, you who are called by 1,000 names, may all remember we are cells in your body and dance together. You are the grain and the loaf that sustains us each day. And as you are patient with our struggles to learn, so shall we be patient with ourselves and each other. We are radiant light and sacred dark, the balance. You are the embrace that heartens and the freedom beyond fear. Within you we are born, we grow, live, and die. You bring us around the circle to rebirth. Within us, you dance forever. Blessed be. As your coordinating team reviewed just this past week our financial condition as a congregation, as is our responsibility, we face challenges, a need for greater generosity, but we face them with gratitude for those who have sustained us, especially in challenging times, and for those who are now aspiring to greater generosity. I invite each of you into the joy of giving. In the same familiar song, we implore roots, hold me close, wings, set me free. May you be held to the truest truth about who you are, grounded with conviction and commitment to that to which you are being called to give your heart. And may you soar on wings of freedom, rising above the cares and travails in a joy-filled dance of great gladness. Go with courage, fostering courageous connections. But for now, enjoy yourself, courtesy of our band.
Dance to the music. Dance to the music. Dance to the music. Dance to the music.
Hey, Eric! What?
All we need is a drummer for people who only need a beat, yeah. I'm gonna add some bottom to make it easy to move your feet. If I could hear the horns blow, a Benji on the throne, yeah! Listen to the voices.